Well, do I have a treat for you today? Welcome to the abandoned nightclub, stroke church, stroke college, stroke boxing ring. Beautiful either way. This is the main hall. I'm so excited to be here. This is a bit of a last minute trip and I thought, what better way than to quickly jump online and just to show you what it is that I'm shooting. I came down this morning with a group of friends. They've headed up now, up to Scotland on a bit of a road trip. I'm going down in a couple of hours to London before returning back to Norwich. And I thought, what great chance to sort of show you guys what it is that I'm shooting today. A beautiful gem of a building, amazing organ up behind me here. And I hope you enjoy this one. I hopefully won't keep it too long. Hopefully it won't be too in depth, but a little taster for you of what's to come hopefully here on this channel. I've got a few compositions in mind. I'm thinking, first of all, I want to shoot with a 16-35 from that camera position that you're looking at me now. I'm a 17mm tilt shift and get a panoramic top to bottom. I'm thinking in a portrait format and just see what that comes out like. Welcome along and hope you enjoy this one. Bit of a treat. Okay, so I've chosen the camera position. This is the first image that I'm thinking of shooting. I love it from this angle. I love shooting straight on, as you know. So this is kind of like, obviously a typical composition. But first of all, yeah, so talking about lines. So the first thing I want to do is I'm trying to get my camera positioned nicely here with this central beam, which is difficult because actually I found that it's actually not in line with all of these seats here in front of me. There's actually a gangway here, and you would think that that would be central to the organ and the roof, but actually it's not. So my position would actually be actually squashed over a little bit more. So I'm just going to shuffle over a tiny bit. Once I've then lined that up, I'm sort of thinking I want to have a little look at that on the back of the camera. So settings for this, I'm always quite similar, to be fair. I find the sharpest spot of this lens is about f8. This is the 16-35 f4 from Canon. And I think that the sharpest point on this lens is around about f8, f9. So I'm always shooting my architecture f8, and if I want more depth of field or I want to get something in focus near and far, I'll just focus stack. Simple. Really simple. So, yeah, anyway, so I always bracket my shots. There's a few reasons for this. So I'm getting 5 brackets of this scene, and the real reason for that is I make sure I'm protecting my highlights. So the windows up there, I need to make sure I'm protecting those because the sun's bursting in on the right here and I can see it in my camera frame. I'll show you that in a second, but I always try and make sure I protect my highlights and then obviously go back from there. And the reason why I bracket is mainly, there's a few things. Today it's because I'm tired and I want to make sure that I've got all of the information that I need to edit this image. But also, sometimes the windows just need pulling back a bit. So by having those extra brackets, you can like blend them in. So I might go for my main composition, my main exposure, and then I might blend in something that's a bit more complementary to the windows. You know, I don't want to burn out all the time. Sometimes it's nice, but it is an it's really an sort of an artistic choice. Some people like to burn them out, some people don't. Some people like them, you know, to be able to see some detail through there. I like it kind of just a little bit back, you know, so you can see that something's out there, but it's not like burnt out completely. I kind of like that look. So anyway, I'm going to try and shoot this. Okay, you'll have to bear with me with the pigeons just like flying about in the scene. It's kind of creepy sometimes, like you just like think, you forget that like you're on your own or that you're in this place and suddenly like a pigeon will just make loads of noise and row and you think someone's there. It's bizarre. Back to where we were. So yeah, this is the sort of composition that I'm looking at. Nice straight down the middle. I'm looking at, I'm always on manual. I'm focusing on something that's kind of about a third of the way into the frame for this shot. ISO 100, f8 like I said. It's given me an exposure time of 10 seconds for my overexposed shot. So I'm just going to bring that down to around about the halfway point, half of that, 5 seconds, which is still slightly burning out my windows, but because I'm capturing the 5 brackets, we should be covered there. There we go, beautiful. There's something quite peaceful about just sort of sitting here. There's nobody about and no one knows I'm here and you're kind of just shooting, you know. That's what I love about this stuff. It's kind of, you go out and you can shoot. It's a Friday today and I've just gone out and just, you know, there's no one around. I can just shoot my own stuff when I want, so it's cool. I'm just going to check those. I might just try and wait a moment as well, because just a little while ago, just a short time ago, there's some beautiful light just dropping in onto the floor down there. So I might just have a little wait again just to see if that reappears and re-emerges, because that really was nice light. Okay, you can see it now. It's only faint, but you can see that just down there, you see the lovely light just dropping in on the floor. So waited there for 5 or 10 minutes just to try and get that light back into my scene. So here we go again. I'm going to try that shot once more. Again, protecting my highlights. Shooting, this time it's ISO 100. F8 again. It's 2.5 seconds it's coming up on the manual exposure now. So yeah, you can see the light really clearly down there in the foreground. And it really does add a lot of drama when you're looking to add a little bit of light into your scene, especially when it's coming in that sort of manner. Let's just check those files. Yeah, a lot nicer. Like streaks of light across the floor really adds a bit of interest. You can see it there in the frame. Okay, time for the tilt shift. Let's give that a go, yeah? I've named the pigeon now. That's Doris. So say hello to Doris as she pops into the scene. Literally, it's kind of weird. It's hard work actually filming yourself shooting. I didn't realise, especially here, there's hundreds of steps. So I'm quite knackered already. It's quite the morning. You'll see I've now got the 17mm Canon tilt shift lens on the front here. I think I only want to get one image here, which is just a portrait of, in case I don't like the wide angle shot. Sometimes I find with the wide angle you get very stretched edges, and obviously you get that a little bit softer, whereas using the tilt shift, it's sharp, so sharp throughout. Not only is it sharp, you can really get some amazing composition. Do you remember when I said it's like knackering walking up and down and quite hard to shoot? My camera battery's just died. So I'm going back down, it seems. Oh, brilliant. What a morning. I should really have put my bag a bit higher, but it's right down there below the stage, which is a bit annoying. It's tiring. Pretty tiring work running up and down. I brought a spare for this now. It's going to be one of the mornings already, you can tell. Okay, so tilt shift shot. So what this is allowing is the tilt shift is incredibly sharp throughout. Really is. One of the sharpest lens I've probably ever used. You know, because it's a prime manual focus lens. Architecture manual focus is really easy. You know, I'm just going to focus on something that's a third into the scene manually just by zooming in onto that area on the back of the camera. But the main thing I'm doing here is I'm just going to capture a straight on, same straight on shot as probably before, but it's 17mm, not 16. And then I'm going to actually use the tilt shift to lift up in the frame and then go down, so you know, maneuver the lens down in my frame. What that would then do is when you stitch that together in, you know, Lightroom or Photoshop, is you actually get a portrait image of three, basically a panoramic of three images top to bottom. You can do other ways as well, but today that's the way that I'm going to shoot this scene. Again, similar settings as well actually to the wide angle lens. ISO 100, might actually go for 200 here. Just Doris is kicking off down there. She's going absolutely crazy. She's going to come say hello soon, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm just focusing now on a railing, which is just down on the right hand side there. Still an amazing place. That's my 5 brackets. Then I'm going to get the 5 brackets by moving the lens upwards like I showed you. I still focus a third into the scene, the difference being now that obviously I'm now shooting more like the roof, the ceiling, so to speak. That's fine, it's a good image. Beautiful. Finally, I'm just going to go down to the bottom. shoot the bottom. There's a little line on here. I actually just make sure that it's a little bit up from the bottom, because the very bottom, it starts to then get really soft, or even vignette a little bit if you're not careful. So I'll focus here. I actually change my focus on each shot as well, because if you don't change your focus, you could end up with the top out of focus and the bottom out of focus. So I actually make sure that the bits of the scene that I want in focus, that I focus on when I recompose in the tilt shift lens. So again, just pressing the zoom button on the back of the camera, I can just then check it. Just going to take those shots now, just make sure I've got them. There we go. Really nice. It should come out really good. I'll chuck that up on the screen so you can check it out. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the other end now and just shoot this way. I mean, I'm thinking that these white things, the things that are behind me here, are probably going to be ugly, but let's check it out. Let's have a little look. You know, composition's not much different. If anything, it's kind of just the other end of the hall, maybe. So it's kind of one of these things. But I like to try and capture both shots, because then you never know. Like, you might like this, prefer this one when you get back home, and that's the worst thing. You don't want to go home and then not like your shots or any shots. And I've done that quite a lot lately. So I've got some lovely light coming in the scene. You can just about see it on the video again as before. So similar shot really. I'm ISO 200. I've lifted the tilt shift lens up to capture as much of that light as I can, but sorry, the ceiling as much as I can. I'm just going to make sure that it's straight. I always use the level in the back of the camera, so I turn that on, and that I'll use that a lot. Okay, ISO 200 f8. Camera's predetermined a 1 second shutter speed at my brightest point. 5 brackets again. Beautiful. I'm just going to check those. Yeah, lovely. I really like that one actually, because the seats bend round and you kind of get this, yeah, you lovely sort of almost bends into the scene. I like that. I like that composition a lot. So I'm going to throw that up and hopefully you like it as well. Let's just go and check it out. Okay, I think it's time to call it a day. I am starving, absolutely starving. And I think my train's in about an hour now, so I need to go get some food and then get the hell out of here. I'm going to chuck those other images up on the screen, so do check them out. If you've got any comments, leave them in the notes below. Subscribe, ring my bell, whatever it is you do on YouTube. I'm on the stage though, right? So maybe a little jig before I go, a little performance. No, just stick to taking photos then. All right, I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care, and I'll see you all soon.